Hello friends. So today we'll study about the performance study of solar flat plate thermal collector operation with variation in mass flow rate and level of radiation. So before going further, I would like you to introduce two flat plate collector. You can see from the figure it is a just like a flat plate where radiations are passed through, right, and the heating of the pipes takes place, and then we can boil or the fluid in the collector gets heated up. So flat plate collector is a heat exchanger that converts the radiant solar energy from the sun into heat energy using the well known greenhouse effect. We are all aware about how the what is greenhouse effect and how it works. So it collects or captures the solar energy and uses that energy to um, heat the water or the fluid. When we talk about water, we are talking about that we have flat plate on our buildings for bathing, washing, heating, and can be used to heat outdoor swimming pools also, and even hot tubs. So solar water heater is one of the simplest and basic technologies in the solar energy field. Collector is the heart of any solar water heating system. From the name we can guess the what how does it work, what does it do. So it absorbs and converts the solar energy into heat and then transfers that heat to a stream of water. There are different types of solar thermal collectors. So this setup is using a flat plate thermal collector. So we can see there is a gasket, there is a header, glazing is there, riser tube absorbs the plate, insulation casing, right. So a typical flat plate collector consists of an absorber plate in an insulated box together with the transparent cover sheets or a sheet. So how does it work? First, there are some things we have to study about before we perform any kind of experiment. So there are different components of a flat plate collector. Absorber plate, it is a flat conducting plate to which the tubes, fins or passages are attached. It may be continuous or discrete plate. The plate is usually coated with a high absorptance and low emittance layer. Cover plate, one or more sheet of glass or other radiation transmitting material forms the cover plate. The cover plate serves two purposes: minimization of convective heat loss and blocking of IR radiation, that is infrared radiations. We all know that. Heat removal of passages, there are tubes, there are fins, there are passages which conduct or direct the steam stream of water from the inlet to the outlet of the collector. Headers or manifold, there are many pipes that through which we can we can have water in the collector and we can discharge the water through that. Insulation, this is very important, such as rock wool or glass wool. These are fitted in the back and sides of the collector to prevent the heat losses from the collector. Casing surrounds the aforementioned components and protects them from dust, moisture or any other material. So we can see from the figure we have we have hot water outlet, we have in cold water inlet, we have sealed heat enclosure, we have foam or aluminum insulation, we have tubes, heat absorbing tubes which absorb the heat. Then these heats, when heat up, these tubes help the liquid to heat up, right. Heat absorbing back plate, lower manifold collection tube. So there are certain performance parameters when we talk about flat plate collector system. Overall heat loss coefficient. So all the heat that is generated by the collector does not result into useful energy. Some heat is being lost. So some of the heat gets losses to the surroundings. The amount of heat losses depends upon the convective, conductive and radiation heat of loss coefficients. The convection mode of heat transfer, conductive mode of heat transfer, radiation mode of heat transfer. These are certain modes of heat transfer. We all have studied in our last semester or this semester also. So estimation of heat loss coefficient of the flat plate collector is important for its performance evaluation. Higher value of heat loss coefficient indicates, what does it indicate? It indicates that lower heat resistance and obviously lower efficiency. So among all the heat loss parameters, the top loss contributes the most. The top heat loss coefficient is a function of various parameters which includes temperature of the absorbing plate, ambient temperature, wind speed, emissivity of the absorbing and cover glass plate, tilt angle. Next is heat removal factor. So heat removal factor represents the ratio of the actual useful energy gain to the useful energy gain if the entire collector were at fluid inlet temperature. It depends upon the factors like inlet and outlet water temperature, ambient temperature, area of the collector, importance of heat removal factors. It remains with the efficiency of system for a high efficient system. So next is efficiency. It is the most important factor for the system. This factor determines the system's output. For a flat plate based on solar water heater system, efficiency is defined as the ratio of useful energy delivered to the energy incident on the collector. The energy which is being delivered, and we have to take care of the energy that is being incident on the collector. So the value of efficiency is dominated by the parameters like product of glazing, transmittance, absorbing plates, absorptance, intensity of global radiation falling on the collector, water inlet temperature, and ambient air temperature. Collector time constant. It is required to evaluate the transient behavior of a collector. It is defined as the time required rising the outlet temperature by 0.632 of the total temperature increase from at the time 0 to the time infinity. So there are two kinds of thermal system: direct solar thermal system and indirect solar thermal system. When we talk about direct solar thermal systems, these are also known as active open loop systems, which uses a pump to circulate the water around the system. The cooler water is pumped directly from home to the central water storage immersion tank, then passes to the solar collector for heating. Then hot water leaves the flat plate collector and returns back to the tank, flowing in a continuous loop. So water is pumped back to the house as hot usable. Did you get that? Like when we have a cooler water pump, that is the cooler water in one tank that is pumped, through solar collector for heating. Then the hot water leaves the flat plate collector, returns back to the tank, flowing in a continuous loop. From there, water is pumped back to the house. When we talk about indirect, which is also known as closed loop system, that's different from the previous one. In this, these are the systems have active systems that require pumps to circulate the heat transfer liquid around the closed loop system of the collector to the heat exchanger. These contains an antifreeze solution in primary closed loop, so that water gets heated up, which is heated and is kept separate from the main domestic hot water supply. So we have to have various instruments to measure different parameters. When we talk about radiation, we have to measure it through radiation meter. We have to measure, when we have to talk about temperature, we have to measure it through thermometer. When we talk about pressure, we have to measure it through pressure gauge. When we talk about water flow meter, we have to measure it through flow meter. So radiation meter, it is to measure the radiation level that is received by the collector, and radiation meter is applied with the system. It is a sensing based device. Thermometer, 5 thermometers are connected to the system. The sensors are RTD based. You might have studied in these electrical measurements also. Pressure gauge, water flow meter to measure the water flow rate at a panel mount flow meter with mini turbine flow sensor, which is connected to the collector inlet. Pump, we are using AC pump to fill up the collector tank. We are using anemometer, to measure the air velocity. We are using the fan. One AC fan is integrated with the system to generate an artificial wind speed. To set the wind speed as per the requirement, a regulator is also attached to the main control unit. So different valves are there to control the water flow as per the requirement. So first parameter is heat loss coefficient. So UL, it is not by UL. It is the overall heat transfer coefficient from absorber plate to the ambient air. It is a complicated function of collector construction and its operating conditions. In simple terms, it can be expressed as UL is equal to UT plus UV plus UE. So you can see from this is the formula, we can calculate the heat loss coefficient. F factors for flat plate, this is the formula. We have different formulas for different to find out different values, like collector efficiency factor, actual useful heat collection rate upon useful heat collection rate when the collector is absorbing plate at the local or fluid temperature. Heat removal factor, flow factor, it is a ratio of heat removal factor to the collector efficiency. Collector plate temperature, thermal efficiency of the collector. Thermal efficiency collector when angle is incident is not at 90°. So these are the graphs which are drawn which are inferenced from different readings. So this is efficiency and mass flow rate graph. Next is outlet temperature versus mass flow rate graph, optimum flow rate graph, flow factor versus collector capacitance rate graph, plate temperature versus mass flow rate graph, heat loss versus flow factor rate loss. So when we'll calculate the, when we'll have setup and we'll calculate these parameters, we will have these kind of graphs. So if you have any queries, you can contact me and ask me. So actually we were not having the setup, a full setup, so that why I just explained you a little bit of thermal flat plate collector. Thank you very much.